There is a secret conflict between MI6 and a top-wanted mafia in a Spanish city to capture a top-wanted mafia. But that mafia is so powerful that they kill everyone before MI6 agents can understand. But the story does not stop here. Then the attack on the US president and all the members of NATO begins. The question is, who is this mafia? And why is he taking revenge on everyone? We are here to answer all these questions, with an explanation of the recently released action movie, Heads of State. So without wasting any more time, let's start today's movie explanation. At the beginning of the movie, we see a journalist named Noel, who was reporting on the famous Spanish festival, La Tomatina. But in a short while, we learn that Noel is an agent of MI6, who has come to the festival with the CIA to capture a Russian arms dealer named Victor. Let me tell you something here. Just like the CIA works in America, MI6 exists in the United Kingdom. Since that Russian arms dealer was a threat to America, the agencies of the two countries come together to do this mission to catch him, whose leader was Noel. Meanwhile, after searching for a while, Noel's team found Victor, and Noel went there. But there they saw some other people who looked like Victor, who were roaming around the festival. Then Noel asked his team to get access to the American-made program Echelon, so that they could easily catch the real victim by analyzing his body language. Actually, Echelon was a program through which they kept an eye on people all over the world, and through that program, anyone's face recognition or body analysis could be done. So when the US department was informed about the access, they gave access to their program to Noel's team for just 1 minute. But just then, when Noel saw a van entering the festival, it seemed very strange to her, because no such van was supposed to come to this place. But as soon as Noel's team got the code of that program, some people attacked Noel's team. A sniper from a distance started killing everyone in Noel's team, one by one. Also, those who were on the ground also attacked them at the same time. All of Noel's team died in an instant. Just then, we see the van next to Noel's van, where Noel's two technician assistants were working on the program. At that moment, a killer named Agla comes out of the new van and kills the two technicians. And with them, we also see a hacker named Arthur. Arthur now starts copying all the data of Echelon's program through the assistants' computers. Meanwhile, we see Noel, who is still single-handedly killing many and coming towards their van, because she has already realized that Victor wants to frame them and steal this program. So when Noel reaches their van after killing those goons, just then, Noel sees the killer and the scientist and realizes that they have already hacked the program. Now if this program is activated again, then they will automatically hack that program. So when Noel sees that killer was surrendering, a goon from the side shoots her with a shotgun. In an instant, Noel falls to the ground. Then they overturn Noel's van, and they start thinking that Noel might be dead, due to which their mission is successful, and the victors leave from there. In the next scene, we see Sam, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, who was watching the news about Will, the new President of the United States, on TV. Will was originally an actor by profession, and his popularity was huge in the whole of America. Will had a meeting with Sam at the NATO conference in Italy tomorrow, where they wanted to talk about the mission in Spain in front of the press. Although Sam personally did not like Will at all, because he thought that how could an actor be the president of a country? Since the war was still a joint mission between the two countries, he was forced to speak at the press conference with Will. The next day, Will and his family went to a palace in Italy, where he told his daughter that NATO is an organization that tries to maintain peace in the whole world. If someone wants to destroy this peace, NATO will not let them go in any way. Also, if there is a war anywhere in the world, NATO tries its best to stop it. Just then, Will's wife asks Will to talk to Sam very nicely, because they got into a very bad argument last time. In fact, Sam doesn't like Will much either, because Sam supported Will's opposition party during the election. Just then, Will's assistant Katie comes and asks Will to forget all the old things and talk to Sam again nicely. Then, after Will's wife leaves, Katie says, "We failed in the mission we did with MI6 to catch Victor, and all the people from our two agencies died there. And that's why you have to talk about this mission with Sam in front of the whole world." On the other hand, we see Sam, who learns from his assistant that NATO had conducted a mission to kill Victor 10 years ago. But in that mission too, they were not able to kill Victor. On the contrary, his brother died in that mission. But no one knew where Victor was during these 10 years. However, Sam and Will did not like talking to reporters at all. But since a press conference was organized by NATO, they were forced to go in front of those journalists. Actually, the press conference was about a new nuclear power plant that America was building. But they were quite afraid of what they would answer if someone asked them about that mission. However, the two then reached a palace, and there the conference began. At first, they started falsely praising each other. However, Sam seriously says that if the media asks any questions about that mission, we will turn the question away as being wrong. But we will not talk about the mission. Besides, we will discuss the nuclear power plant that we are building. Then Will also agrees with Sam, and they both go to speak in front of the media. Most of the reporters there were big fans of Will's movies, due to which they started asking Will various questions about his movie career. Thus, when a journalist asked about that mission, Sam said, "We will not talk about that, because we want to keep this mission a secret, so that our enemies don't know about it." Then another journalist says, "We heard that the whole world is being monitored through an American program." Now, is this true? Hearing this, Will turns the conversation around and threatens their enemies and says, "When I was making my movie, I worked with real soldiers, and I know how an agent thinks." But Sam gets annoyed and says, "I was a British agent too." So what's so scary about it? This is how the two of them argue again, and are forced to end their press briefing there, since they have belittled each other in front of everyone. The media now starts spreading that there is no more friendship between these two countries. So to fix this issue, their assistants advise them to go to the NATO meeting on the same plane, so that the media will think their fake friendship is real. But they both try to forbid them from going on the plane together. However, when their assistant says, "Such friends, if they don't behave well, it will affect their next election," then they both agree to go on the plane together for the sake of their power. In the next scene, we see Victor, who was very angry with his gang members. Actually, Victor hired a hitman who could operate the best sniper in the world to help him with this mission. His plan was that none of his companions would get hurt, but he himself returned from there injured. So Victor got angry and started torturing that hitman a lot. As a result, the man died there. And from here, we understand that Victor does not like anything wrong in his work at all. In the next scene, we see Will and Sam on the American president's plane, where Sam keeps looking at the pictures of all the dead agents who went on that mission, among which Sam feels very bad when he sees Noel's picture. And we will find out later what the reason for feeling bad is. On the other hand, when Will starts talking to his family, Sam comes there and talks a lot with Will's family. He talks nicely. Then Sam finds out that Will's daughter is a big fan of Harry Styles, so he promises to give her a ticket to a Harry Styles concert in a few months. Will likes Sam's behavior a lot, because Sam is always very serious and angry. Let me tell you something. Sam originally didn't like Will for this, because, in his opinion, Will is an actor who became president only through his fan base, which was very easy. But Sam found this path with a lot of difficulty, and he also has enough knowledge in this line. Just then we see one of their waiters in that plane, who kills the guards of that plane one by one and sends the location of the plane to his team. Just then we see Orga in another plane, who, along with his team, starts going to the location of the president's plane. Meanwhile, Sam and Will notice that another plane has taken off next to their plane, which is absolutely impossible, because where their plane is, it is possible to find it on a radar. Just then, the killer continued to attack the president on the plane, and their plane caught fire. On the other hand, we see the waiter, who single-handedly kills all the agents, sets fire to all the parachutes on the plane, and jumps out of it with one of his own parachutes. Just then, an agent takes Sam and Will to the back of the plane, because that part was still good. Then the agent sees two of the burning parachutes, and, without thinking about himself, gives them to the president. Then he says that they have a safe house in Poland, and informs them both first, with the location of that safe house. Then, when Sam and Will parachute out, they are both thrown out of the plane by the same person. 2 hours later, people all over the world learn that a terrible attack has been made on the plane carrying the presidents. In this attack, all the security personnel and guards, including the President of the United States and the United Kingdom, were killed. Victor is very happy to see this news. However, then we learn through the news that in America, Carla has been made the interim president in place of Will, who will leave for a NATO meeting in a few moments. On the other hand, the United Kingdom has also appointed a new interim prime minister, about whom we are not told much. In the next scene, we see Sam and Will in the forest of Poland. Where Sam lands properly, Will gets stuck on a tree. Then Sam said that someone from the inside must have helped that killer to get into our plane. Then Will said, "Since we are still alive, we should wait for some time so that someone can come and rescue us when they investigate the plane." But Sam said, "Since someone from the inside is involved in the mission to kill us, we should not trust anyone now. It would be best if we go to the safe house provided by those agents now." Then Will understood the matter, but he started calling his wife to inform that he was still alive. But Sam forbade him to do so, because the enemies would get their location. Then Sam took Will down from the tree and broke both of their phones so that no one could monitor them anymore. Now, after walking for a while, they reached the place where the plane crashed. Seeing this, they realized that there was no one left alive there. Then Sam and Will suspect that Victor must be behind this attack. So they quickly head towards the safe house, because they will know who was involved with Victor in this attack. Meanwhile, in the next scene, we see Carla in a meeting with the top officials of her country. There, she activates the Echelon program and asks them to keep an eye on the entire country, because she felt that after this incident, their country is in a lot of danger. For this, she activates the Echelon program with her voice and iris scan to strengthen its security. But just then, we see Victor and Arthur on the other side. Meanwhile, after updating the new security of the Echelon program, they want to restart the entire server. And at that very moment, Arthur shows his charisma and uses this loophole and hacks the entire server. Due to which, from now on, Victor will be able to leak all the information in the program to the whole world. And as a result of hacking this entire program, from now on, Victor will be able to publish all kinds of secret documents if he wants. Victor does exactly that. He publishes all kinds of secret missions or political changes that were happening in the whole of America online. And after receiving this news, a concern starts in every country. Because here it is seen which country is a friend to whom, and which country is behind it. After knowing these things, an unrest works in every country, and everyone wants to leave this NATO and form a force according to their own. As a result, all countries gradually make up their minds to leave this NATO. Meanwhile, we see Will and Sam, where they were watching some boys partying. These boys have a car, so Will and Sam's plan is to run away from here with this car. But whenever they get to the car and start the car, those boys see them. Now Will starts thinking that maybe these boys have seen one of his movies, or maybe he recognizes them because he is the American president. But it turns out that these boys don't know them at all. On the contrary, they start massacring them, calling them thieves. But Sam manages to escape from these boys there. However, after fighting for a long time, at one point, both Sam and Will get quite a bit of danger. Just then, the guardian of these boys comes to save them. He asks Will and Sam, "Where do you want to go?" Will replies, "He's going to a place in Belarus." After hearing this, the woman took them to the safe house in Belarus by her truck. In this way, as the evening passed, they arrived in Belarus. Then it was seen that Will wanted to gift this woman his expensive watch. Just then, the woman said, "There is no need for this, President." You can understand what she meant. She had already learned that Will was the American president, and Sam was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Then the woman assured her that she would not tell anyone about them, and said good luck to Sam, and left from there. Then when they reached the safe house of both of them, an agent named Martin brought them inside the safe house. As he saw Will, he was very happy and hugged him. Because he was a big fan of Will, and it seemed that Will might have died. Since the safe house had many CCTV cameras, Arthur learned through the Ascenda program that Sam and Will were still alive, who were in a safe house in Belarus. He immediately informed Victor about this, and he sent Ogla to the safe house. Meanwhile, Will and Sam learned from Martin that someone hacked the Ascenda program and spread all the data to the whole world. As a result, the trust of all countries is now moving away from NATO. In addition, all countries are now starting to conflict with each other. Because of this, World War III may soon start. Just then, Will says, maybe we should tell the NATO that we are still alive. But Sam says, it would be the biggest fool to do this, because the person who betrayed us could send the same person to kill us. So we have to find out who betrayed us first. Then they see Ogla, who has already reached the safe house with his team. Martin also sees this through the camera, that someone is coming to kill them, and he tells Will and Sam the way to escape from here, with some tools from his warehouse. Then Martin starts setting traps everywhere, in which many of Olga's soldiers start dying. Then Martin uses the camera to shoot through the walls, blowing them up one by one. Sam and Will are very impressed by Martin's actions. Then Olga, realizing about Martin's camera trick, breaks the camera first, and then shoots and injures Martin. Then Olga starts shooting at Sam and Will, but the two of them escape Olga's eyes and go down in an elevator. But as soon as they come down, they see two more soldiers there. But at that moment, a car blows them up at high speed, and they both end up on this journey. But a little later, they notice that this car is being driven by MI6 agent Noelle herself. That means, as you can understand, Noelle is still alive. Sam is very surprised to see this scene, and Will understands after hearing them that they both know each other from before. So when asked about it, Noelle says, "We trained together when we were in the army." Then Sam asks her, "How are you alive after all this?" Then Noelle says, "Because she had a level 5 jacket that day. She survived that gunshot, and from then on, she went underground in various disguises and started looking for these killers." After which Noelle detonates a bomb and blows up the entire safe house and takes the two of them away. Then Will asks Noelle, "Why is Victor after us?" Noelle says, "The nuclear power plant that you started talking about a few days ago and brought to the media was started by Victor's brother about 10 years ago, and he ordered some nuclear reactors from his brother to complete this project. So when NATO finds out about this, due to his brother's mafia background, NATO starts thinking that Victor and his brother are making nuclear bombs without their knowledge. Because of this, NATO launches a mission to kill Victor and his brother. But even though his brother dies there, Victor somehow survives, and from that day on he starts hating NATO and wants to destroy all the countries under NATO. But they still didn't understand who or what had tricked them into crashing the plane. Then Will started to think that Sam's assistant was a traitor. But Sam said, "I have complete trust in my assistant." "I think your assistant is a traitor." Also, she was pressuring you to go on the plane with me that day. Then Will also felt that Sam's words were right, and he now started to suspect his assistant. Then Noel got on a moving train to take them to the NATO conference. But soon after getting on the train, their location reached Arthur. But this time, he didn't tell Victor about this. And from here we understand that Arthur might be trying to trick Victor for some reason. When Sam woke up the next morning, he saw Will sleeping. And seeing this, he starts talking to Noel, and in their conversation we learn that Noel is actually Sam's ex-girlfriend. They may have broken up for some reason. Then Sam says sorry to Noel, because he only thought about himself and broke up with Noel. But after hearing this, Noel says, now is not the right time to talk about these things, so we should focus on the mission now. Then he goes out to have breakfast. Will wakes up and asks how their relationship broke up. Sam says, when we were in a relationship, I stand on the election to ran for president. Noel would not have liked that at all. I wanted to change the whole world by becoming president. Noel didn't like that. And because of this, we had an argument, and we broke up. Just then, in that train, we see Arthur, who comes to Sam and Will's room with one of his friends and tells them to surrender. Just then, Arthur took the opportunity to shoot and injure his partner. But before dying, the man also shot Arthur, due to which Arthur was also badly injured. Just then, Noel came there and asked Arthur why he did this. He said, my life was going very well before I met Victor. But one day, he kidnapped me and forced me to do all his bad things. He was so violent in his pursuit that he would destroy the NATO no matter what. He's already killed too many people, and I don't want anyone else to die. Also, someone inside you is helping Victor on this. Now, who that person is, I don't know. But I will give you a location, and you will know who the real culprit is inside you through my supercomputer. Then Arthur writes the code of his supercomputer to Will, and tells them to get off the train before going to the next station, because many people are sitting at the next station to kill them. After saying all these words, Arthur dies there, and the three of them jump off the train. In the next scene, we see Carla meeting with the presidents of big countries, and standing next to NATO. But each country refuses to stand next to them, because America was already illegally keeping an eye on every country, and America controlled who would be the president of which country through its assertion program. Also, tomorrow, every country has officially decided to leave NATO. On the other hand, when Sam goes to the location that Arthur told them, they see a secret vault there. This vault was made in such a way that there is no way to understand that there is a vault here from a distance. Well, after opening it, Noel sees Arthur's supercomputer. However, already, when the goons sent by Victor arrive, Sam decides to fight back with the goons. Meanwhile, Noel learns about the traitor through the computer. It was Will's assistant, Katie. This Katie used to talk to Victor every day. Will is shocked to see this, because he could not accept that his assistant would do this to him. Meanwhile, Sam fights the goons alone and kills many of them by detonating a bomb, due to which the rest of the goons cannot come up for some time. Meanwhile, another of Victor's men tries to pull the vault out. Sam starts cutting the vault, but it is too late, and the helicopter is able to bring the vault out of the building with Noel and Will. But then Victor's man fires a missile at Sam and blasts the whole place, and from here we understand that Sam is no longer alive. Then Noel and Will jump from the vault and lands on the building, but they both are deeply saddened by Sam's death. Meanwhile, when the man tells his boss everything, a message comes to the two in front of him, and the man understands that his boss has ordered them to kill him because he could not kill Noel and Will. But Victor kills the two men and throws them out of the helicopter and goes to take revenge on his boss. The next morning, when NATO's conference starts, Carla gets a call from Will, and he tells her to be careful of Katie, because Katie was the traitor among them. He also asks Carla to send her beast car on his location, so that she can join NATO's conference soon and fix everything again. So after a while, the car sent by Carla arrives, where they see a gangster and realize that Carla is the real traitor, the one who used Katie's phone to talk to Victor. Also, Victor's boss was this Carla, who originally wanted to kill Will. She made a deal with Victor so that she could become the new president. So taking the opportunity, Noel and Will attacked the goon, and the two of them started fighting with the goon. At that moment, many cars sent by Victor started attacking them, where Olga and many others were. But suddenly a fire service car came and destroyed one of the goons' cars. And we see Sam in that fire service car. That means Sam still survived that attack. Here we learn that before the bomb exploded, Sam had climbed down a rope from the stairs and reached there directly from there. Noel and Will were very happy to see Sam, and Sam jumped from the fire service car and came to Will's car. Meanwhile, Noel and Will struggled to throw the goons out of the car, and Noel kissed Sam and told him to go to the NATO conference quickly. And I can say that the relationship between the two of them has already been fixed. Since Will's car was bulletproof, those goons now start launching more RPG at them, and because of this, their entire car catches fire. But nothing much happens to their car, and Sam drives their car directly into the NATO conference. Since there were many NATO guards there, those goons are forced to flee from there. Meanwhile, when Carla starts her speech, Sam and Will come and ask Carla to stop her speech, because the presidents of both countries are still alive, and they don't want any country to leave NATO. Also, if a terrorist like Carla is the president of a country, then this country will never be able to live without war. Along with all these words, Will also says, "We want all countries to be united, so that all countries can live in peace." Then Carla says, "If an actor like you becomes president, then he will never be able to run the country. Also, why should we talk to small countries being under NATO?" Just then, Victor's helicopter arrives and shoots Carla dead, and the rest of Victor's soldiers start shooting indiscriminately. As a result, a huge battle starts at the conference. Sam and Will hide under a table and help everyone escape. Meanwhile, Noel also arrives and catches Victor while he is beating up Victor's soldiers. But since Victor's goon is there, Noel now leaves Victor and starts fighting with that goon. Meanwhile, while Victor is running away, Sam and Will see him and they start chasing Victor, where they meet a monster. Both of them are beaten up by the monster at first, but eventually they are able to kill the monster too. Meanwhile, Noel was not able to deal with the man at all, so he cleverly throws him off the stairs, and because of this, the man breaks his neck and dies there. Then when they come up, Victor has already boarded his helicopter to escape from there. Seeing all this, the two of them make a plan to catch Victor, since Victor had a weapon in his hand, and that weapon had only one arrow. Now if you go to catch Victor, he will definitely throw it. So Sam says, "I will take this blow, and you take this opportunity to destroy his helicopter." Saying this, Sam runs to catch him, Victor hits him with his weapon, and hits him backwards. On the other hand, Will picks up a statue, and throws it along the wing of the plane, due to which the wing of the helicopter becomes useless in an instant, and it starts going down. And in a while, it falls on the road, and a huge explosion destroys Victor's case there. Then we are shown a scene 2 months later, where Sam and Will meet at a restaurant. Then Will asks Sam about Noel. Sam says that he has gone to the other side of the world to do a secret mission. Then Sam gives Will a ticket to the Harry Styles concert, so that he can go to the concert with his family. Will is very happy to see this, and thanks his daughter for keeping her word. Then we see many journalists outside the restaurant, who were reporting on Will and Sam's friendship. Meanwhile, we also see Martin, who survived the gangsters, and by telling how he saved 2 presidents, he wanted to impress the girls. But the girls do not believe anything Martin says, and they leave from there. Just then, Noel comes there and tells Martin, "I believe you and I have a mission for you." With these words, this amazing movie ends here. So you understand, the second part of this movie, Head of State, may be coming soon. Now it will definitely be explained in Magic Moment. So until then, everyone stay well and healthy. See you in the next video. Until then, may God protect you.